Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below this video. Also below the video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Now we are joined by Father of a Stolen Child, Brian's Logic, Neil, 10th Man Rising, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. However, they're all on mute, so they don't know I actually started the live show because there's very good discussion going on between the two panels. So I'm going to take myself off mute so that they can be heard by you in the audience, and hopefully the show will continue as it's been going up until now.
On a different schedule.
Doesn't mean up anymore.
We understand. He's a busy man, so.
What?
He's on a different schedule this morning.
Yeah. He told us that his wife had a dental surgery or something. So.
Okay,
Yeah,
but we're
back now.
on the show. Why are you even covering that? Come on. My goodness.
Muted for a long time there.
Hang on. I got
You guys were
something for this
muted.
guy. Okay, I got something for this guy. Do you know what Newton said about gravity? Because you've been quoting him a lot.
I would like to know what he said, because I feel like what he
You've been
said,
quoting him.
in my perspective, would be. Yes, I know. I've been calling Newton.
Okay, what are you ascribing to Newton?
Well, according to the Newton, the force of gravity attracts all the heavier objects would fall faster toward the Earth than the lighter objects.
Are you
And
sure?
the gravity attracts all the masses at the same time. Well, at the same
Are you sure?
force.
Are you sure?
Like I said, my interpretation could be different than yours. So.
No. What reference are you using to give that statement for Newton that causes your interpretation? Are you certain that you've done your homework to know that's what your interpretation is true to Newton's words?
According, every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between their centers. So the more mass of the objects, the more they attract each other, and the closer the distance, the more attractions between the objects are. That's the Newton's law of universal.
All right. So that's what you're told Newton said. That's your parroting. But let me read what Newton said. And this is one reason why I desired you would not ascribe innate gravity to me. That gravity should be innate, inerrant, and essential to matter, so that one body may act upon another at a distance through a vacuum, without the mediation of anything else. By and through which their action and force may be conveyed from one to another is to me so great an absurdity that I believe no man who has in philosophical matters a competent faculty of thinking can ever fall into it. Gravity must be caused by an agent acting constantly according to certain laws, but whether this agent be material or immaterial, I have left open to the consideration of my readers. Newton never said what you read. You're just being fooled again. You just read stuff from liars before you and you parrot it, and you've been schooled so many times on this show alone that you can't even concede when you're wrong about steam forming puddles or not.
Can you send me a link to that quote? I would like to read it
It's
myself.
in Master B. I posted it. Someone posted for him.
That was a letter, wasn't it? To was it to Cambridge, the head of Cambridge?
Something like that, yeah.
It was some philosopher. I think Dawkins was the man's name. Philosopher of his time. I could have the name wrong. I thought it was Dawkins.
Yeah, I know it was a letter. I don't know exactly who it was to. It was another intellectual of the time.
But we covered all of this in the pre-show. You're going to assert that something with a mass will attract something else with a mass, and if it's got a bigger mass, it's got more attraction. Then gas go down, go boom, boom, because it's got mass and the centre of Earth's got mass? No. It's the end of that argument.
Well, the heliocentric
Newton
model doesn't claim it even does that officially. Like, that's not gravity. That's a story that people think gravity is, but it's not. That's not what it is.
They don't claim to know what gravity is, even in the heliocentric model.
Because all this talk about forces is not involved. Understand? Forces are not involved with gravity.
I think Newton understands something, and this is what I've been ask the questions I do. Of course, I'm getting a phone call at the moment. Let me try to get this out. Is he knew that there had to be some kind of physical mediation, not some ethereal, some conceptual thing that was causing this. He knew there. So don't give this to me. I don't know what it is, but you guys can go after it. I think that's what he understood.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with what Paul was saying. Is that to me it sounded like in the letter, like he was saying when he said mass is a mass going to one mass going to another mass. I think he was more speaking about just the phenomena. Like he would have called something being dropped and going to the floor as the phenomena. So I think maybe he was stating, I don't know why that happens.
In Brooklyn, we'd say, don't put this shit on me.
Well, in the narcissistic world of heliocentrism, if you protest too much about something not being ascribed to you, they'll name it after you.
Yeah.
Was it Brahe? They'd have to be enormous. The lights in the sky would be absolutely gigantic. I love it.
How big do you think the sun is?
Right.
How big do I don't know. No idea. It's only got an apparent
It's
size.
definitely.
Oh, my bad. Maybe
They
the
measured
answer.
the-
Maybe
the
the answer
size
needs
of the sun.
immediate interruption.
Sorry.
We can only measure an apparent size of the sun, so I don't
And
know,
how
and
big do
neither
you
do
think
you.
the appearance
And
size?
maybe just talk through it a second time. It's what we deal with, just wankers. Second time you've done that. So we've only got an apparent size to measure. So I don't know, and neither do you.
They did measure the size of a sun.
What, from space in your spaceship? We covered that in the pre-show, though, didn't we? Gas would fill the space. Gas not going down, go boom, boom. None produced in the sky to force the steam up. Yeah, we debunked all of that crap. So no, they're not measuring it from your sky vacuum like you claimed in the pre-show.
You didn't because
hasn't
you
learned
only said that
anything.
the steam that the steam was the only gas in when I attracted, but you forgot that there's more than one gas when the steam is released.
Oh, I forgot when I asked you to describe the homogeneous layer of... Who's fucking talking through me? So when I asked you to detail the homogeneous layer of gas and which gas that would be, you detailed it, didn't you? Because I just ignored that. I haven't detailed it 6 times. Which homogeneous layer of gas would that be?
There is no homogeneous layer of gas.
So you're just talking shit, the same shit we've already debunked then?
I told you that the
Yeah, you told me that it all goes up from the ground. It's all dispersing, yeah. It's not going down, go boom, boom with gravity. Yeah, you told us that too. You also told us that gas was created in the sky, went down, go boom, boom, 9.8 meters per second to force the steam up, until I pointed out that none of the gases are doing that. We've covered all of this.
I never said that the gases were created in the atmosphere and then
Atmosphere? Atmosphere? Atmo means air. Sphere is your fundamentalist presupposition. Another begging the question fallacy. Why would you assume that air takes the shape of a sphere? Don't beg the question.
yes, it takes the shape of a sphere because
No, it takes the shape of its container. You don't understand gas law. You're a moron. Hello? Gas does not take the shape of a sphere. Gases have no inherent shape. That's nonsense. They take the shape of the container. Whatever space they have to fill, they fill. And if the sky vacuum was a space, then gas would fill it. Your response to assert that pseudo-Riemannian bending for space, that would be gravity in its current context, is causing gas to go down, go boom, boom, that's been completely demolished. 20 times!
I never said that the gas was going down like a balls. I never said that it was going like a boom boom. It's your own interpretation.
No, it's Thunderfoot's interpretation. He poured bouncy balls into a fish tank and asserted that the gas goes down. When I pointed that out to you last time, you said it sinks. So according to you, gas sinks. Yeah? Like bouncy balls poured into a fish tank, they sink through the air. Yeah? No, gas doesn't do that. It expands to fill the space. It's not sphere-shaped. You're just begging the question with atmosphere. So you need gas to be arbitrarily in the shape of a sphere. When gas has no inherent shape, it takes the shape of whatever container it's in.
And the gravity acts as a
Why are you chanting gravity through us? Yeah, you've already said at the beginning of the live show. We've got a centre of mass, and the bigger it is, the more it'll attract a smaller mass. Oh, right, so gas with mass will attract to Earth. We get puddles of gas, do we? No, we don't. They're all produced at the ground and going up, dispersing, with an entropic effect that we've covered 25 times.
Center of mass, did he measure the radius of this geometry he's claimed there's a center to?
How'd you get the centre of mass for your assertion of gravity with a centre of mass of Earth attracting the mass of gas, which it doesn't do?
is the center of gravity. That's why everything is.
Yeah, where'd you get it, you stupid idiot? Try to listen to the questions. Where'd you get R? Centre of the mass of Earth, that's R. Where'd you get it?
It's also gravity as a force, which he's gone back to.
Yeah, I know.
The R is the how deep the Earth is to the core.
Sorry, we don't need to know what a radius is. We're not stupid. Where'd you get Earth radius, you dumb idiot? Where'd you get your Earth R?
They measured it.
How?
How do you think they know how?
Sorry, don't ask me something. How did they measure it?
They use the seismic waves to measure how deep the sound of from the earthquakes went traveled through the Earth.
So P waves and S waves?
Yes.
Oh, right. So they're accurate then?
Yes, they are.
Really? So why when they dig the Kola deep, how do they call it? Super deep borehole, why did they get it wrong?
They didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They got it wrong. They predicted they'd hit rock,
They got
they
it
hit
wall
water.
multiple
They
times
predicted they'd hit
after
sand, they hit
re-engaging them.
clay. They got it wrong. The P waves and S waves said they'd hit a certain material and they were wrong. Did you not know that? You want to deny it again?
I didn't know that.
Oh, really? So yet again, the globe believer's the most ignorant person here. What a shock. Yeah, P waves and S waves didn't give you your R value. You're wrong again. So, back to the same question. You've asserted mass centre of, that's an R value. Didn't get it from P waves and S waves, that's for damn sure. So you haven't got an R value. Centre of M1 you haven't got. You haven't got R. Hello? Your crap that
Hold
you've
on.
been peddling has been annihilated. Hello?
Hold on.
I'm holding. I'm bated breath. Still holding.
Did the penny just drop on him on the P and S waves?
You
I
asked
think
me
he
how
needs
did
to
they
think
got to
about the
R? They
nature.
measured the diameter at the equator of the Earth was 12,756 kilometers.
Oh, excellent. What's the equator? What's the equator exactly?
The equator is right between the tropics of Cancer and the tropics of Capricorn. That that is right in the middle of of the Earth.
How'd you decide that? How'd you derive that?
Because the equator is where the sun at the
Sorry, sun. Sorry, I'm very confused. Sorry, circumference. Now you're talking about the sun. That's very confusing.
was met.
Sorry, you don't seem to be listening to me. You told me that you measured the circumference of Earth and talked about an equator. I asked you what the equator was, and now you're talking about what the sun does. That's very confusing.
I'm trying to describe how did they measure it, and you
Sorry, measure
you
what?
interrupted
Sorry,
me on
measure
that.
what? This is a position on the ground, is it? Because you seem to be detailing what the sun does. Measure what? The sun?
They
But
use
not a circumference from the ground then. More over the movement of the sun. That's what the equator is. The movements of the sun averaged then. Not a position on the ground.
is where the sun is.
Yeah, I know. It's the sun that you're detailing now, and I'm saying that's confusing, given that you're telling me that you're measuring a circumference, the equator, and then when I ask what the equator is, you tell me it's something the sun does.
Equator is an imaginary line. Right?
Oh, imaginary. You're measuring the imaginary line circumference, are you? Oh, dear.
But they still measure.
Imaginary? They're just still measuring that imaginary line, are they? Sorry, are we going to get this R value from Imagination Land? Imagination Land, right? They still can measure this imaginary line.
No.
No? So failure number 2. So not P waves and S waves, and not an imaginary line either. So you haven't got R.
What he's claiming, what he's claiming there is Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes measured a flat diameter to Earth, which would be close to 25,000 miles in his, going by the conversion of the best they can from states to feet and miles and whatever, would be a flat diameter of 25,000 miles. But then he supposedly decided that the sun rays were parallel and not divergent, even though we've never seen anything but divergent sun rays. And then he decided to match it to maths that he already had from Pythagoras and say it's a globe. So how can you measure a flat diameter, then state that the sun is something or doing something that it's not, and then correlate that with mathematics that you already have from a guy from years ago before you and state it's a globe? That's what happened. And it's funny that the globe out the equator line is the same distance, more or less, as the flat diameter that he would have originally measured.
It's a begging the question, fallacy on steroids.
Yeah.
Shout out to Godzilla37. It says, for just $5 measly, you too can trigger ballers. Thank you very much for the super chat, Godzilla37.
Well, I'm just wondering why they don't go to the curvature calculator anymore. It's almost like that's been debunked or something.
Yeah, that's...
How do you have a sphere without curvature now?
The curvature calculator is not accurate to what we see.
Oh, right. Welcome to Flat Earth.
It's not. The Earth is not flat.
Sorry, the curvature calculator doesn't match what we see, and what it says we see is curvature.
Right. You're claiming you can't see physical geometry. That's really nice.
So it doesn't represent how much in feet and inches the physical Earth curve edge horizon would block things. It doesn't do that. Yeah, that's what we say. Of course, globe believers say that it does show that. You seem to be somewhere in between, limbo between thinking that the curve calculator shows you how much the horizon blocks things, and then realizing that the image on screen, the black swan, shows beyond all certitude that you don't have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon. So the curve calculator definitely does assert that the horizon gets in the way of things because it's Earth curve. It's just we've debunked that.
It's all a load of nonsense without R, man. You just got to realize that.
Do you know what debunked means?
Yes, it means proven wrong, or pretty much, yeah, proven wrong.
Yeah, so the curve calculator asserts that the Earth curve is represented at the horizon. We have proven that wrong with the black swan. Do you want to tell me how it doesn't represent what we see again? Because that's what it's claimed to do. Represent what we see? It doesn't. It's a side profile view of the side of your own head, which you never get. So we already knew it didn't represent what we see, but of course that's what it's claimed to do. It was compared to photographs. For example, several years ago we had people coming and telling us that a physical geometric sphere edge that they drew tangents to in their maths blocked the bottom of the Isle of Man to a certain tune of feet and inches values. That they argued about how much or how little there should be blocked at the physical geometric sphere edge horizon claimed in that maths you say doesn't represent what we see? Yeah, welcome to flat Earth.
Again, Earth is not flat.
Now chant it. It hasn't got curvature. So, yeah, without the curvature, we're left with the obvious and observable, which is that it's flat, how it's measured. So, just chanting it, hand wave dismissal. If it was spherical, we'd have curve, and we don't.
Yeah, unless you know some kind of a geometry that is not spherical, but not flat at the same time. If you have any suggestions.
So basically, he's admitting that geometric limitations prove the Earth is not a sphere, but at the same time, he's claiming it's not flat.
Well, that's the denying the measurements of flatness.
Of course.
That's all that is.
He
Denying what
typifies
measure.
anti-flat earther. So he's just told us, he's a globe believer, so he thinks, that the curve calculator, the thing that's supposed to calculate how much curve you will see at the horizon and how many feet and inches of drop at the horizon, all of those things are what the calculator claims we see, says a globe believer. This man says, quote, the curve calculator does not represent what we see. So he's an anti-flat earther. You know, he's bracing against our rebuttal that demolishes the claim that the calculator's what we see. So therefore he's got to go against that now. Why? Well, because we say it. So it doesn't matter that his statement that it's not what we see is basically worthy of welcome to flat Earth then. So not what we see. Oh, right, not Earth curve then, as shown in the geometry. Oh, no, it's not flat. That's his response. That's all he's got. Just doesn't want to be part of the club that he probably thinks this is, rather than appreciating that the world he's been presented with and told he lives on has no curvature.
A flat Earth. Like I said, Earth is not flat.
Yet you just keep chanting that. Well, show us curve then.
I just posted in.
No, if it's not flat, do you want to show us some curvature?
You can see the curvature when you look at the distance and see that the objects would be disappearing beyond the horizon.
So the horizon is a physical geometric sphere edge then? No, we've debunked that. If the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every distance to horizon measurement could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. As per the geometric, begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator. And the images of the black swan demonstrate beyond all certitude that the limitation claimed to be a physical horizon is beyond the limitations of the geometry of a sphere, Earth radius 3959. Therefore, the Earth is not a sphere, and the horizon is not physical Earth curve. So no, we've debunked the horizon as a physical Earth curve edge. So to say, oh, I can see curvature at the horizon, is you telling me that the horizon is now Earth curve, like in your Earth curve maths? So in your Earth curve maths, it says the horizon's going to block things. But you've also told us that that maths doesn't represent what we see. Cognitive dissonance much?
Yeah, or maybe he thinks he can see it, but just not calculate it somehow.
The curve calculator doesn't represent what we see. How the hell are you going to claim that the blockage at the horizon is Earth curve, as per the maths, that you say doesn't represent what we see? You seem to be in cognitive dissonance, my friend. It can't both not be what we see and be your claim that the physical geometry is blocking things. Meanwhile, we've debunked it with the black swan. It's beyond all limitations of a geometric sphere edge horizon. It's not.
Show me the picture that debunked the Earth's curvature.
It's called the black swan. It shows the horizon beyond 9.6 miles when, at the limitations of a geometry that you assert in the maths that you say doesn't represent what we see now, because you're an anti-flat earther, it would be at 1.2 miles. So the physical limitation of your view based on the geometry would be at 1.2 miles in that image, and it's beyond 10 miles, beyond things that should be obscured by it. Now, if the response to that is that it's refracted, then you can no longer use it to gain tangents to do the geometry as per the depiction on screen. So the depiction on screen is the Metabunk curve calculator that shows a straight line, that would be the geometric requirement for this model, tangent to a physical geometric sphere edge horizon, blocking things with a value that they'll give with a hidden attribution at feet or meters values. So this is a claim that the horizon blocks things into the distance. If that was the case, then this would be the limitation to your view at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. The black swan shows it's beyond that. Therefore, this geometry is no longer capable of being done, because the response is to say that this line required to do the geometry, called a tangent, is in fact bent. Therefore, no longer capable of being utilised as a tangent. Bye-bye, globe geometry. Black swan.
Pictures of Master B, Nathan.
But you can see that the farther
Nathan, what was the observer
platform
height
is
again?
lower than the
1 foot, Arwin. He was at 1 foot. Therefore, the horizon,
How many
physical
miles
geometric.
away?
Say again?
How many miles
The-
away at 1 foot observer height?
10 miles. The horizon was at 10 miles. It should have been at 1.2.
Wow.
Shout out to Unitox Femu. I was so sure that it's enough to say
Oh.
curvature. Yeah, just say curvature or gravity, and that's enough, right? Thanks for the super chat.
You could always invalidate the measurements and say that it's refracted. That's always a way to go with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'll invalidate the requirement for a tangent to the horizon I say blocks things by saying that that tangent is now refracted and no longer a tangent to do the geometry with.
Well, you know,
He's
maybe
trying to say
there
something.
could
Wait, he was
have been.
about to say
Can I say
Owen,
something?
Owen.
Maybe there
Owen
could
first.
have been some kind of observational effect that would allow this. So, hey, if anybody could basically demonstrate an optics situation where a confirmed measured spherical surface could be seen as if it were a perfectly straight flat surface, now then we might have a clue of some sort of terrestrial refraction, but I've never seen it. I've seen the claim that light can bend supposedly, but never actually a spherical surface being visibly turned into an apparent flat surface. That I've never seen.
Because it only exists in the mathematics. 7/6 of a radius value would initially require you acquire the radius value. So you'd have to get the R value, and Al-Biruni acquired it by drawing a tangent to a physical geometric sphere edge, and then utilising mathematics to derive the R by way of a dip angle measurement. Well, that mathematics needs a tangent, and they haven't got one anymore. It's apparently refracted, so bye-bye globe geometry. Bye-bye globe physical horizon to block things. Apparently it's refracted now. So a non-physical refracted location is apparently blocking boats and buildings with its physical attributes. It's nonsense. It's descended into a paradox.
Right.
Nathan,
Also,
I
bye-bye
know-
Al-Biruni. Your services are no longer required.
But there's a
Nathan,
measurement. There's a measurement that's not invalidated, and that's what all surveyors use, what any architect will use. It's measured flat. It's flat.
The lad was trying to say something there a minute ago, and he just didn't get a chance to get it in.
Yeah, I wanted to hear his answer for the picture. He was about to say something.
Okay, well, it's on screen. Black Swan. Platform Habitat and Platform Hill House. Platform Hill House at 6.21 miles. Platform Habitat at 9.41 miles. The horizon beyond both.
I don't think that the geometric horizon is 2.73 miles away.
It isn't. I know. That's what debunks your globe model. The globe model says that it is. And it isn't. You're right. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Earth
That's
is
right.
not
It's
flat
not
again.
supposed.
Say again. Come again.
I said Earth is not flat. Is not flat again.
Oh, you just chanted your hand wave dismissal.
No, it's not, because the geometric horizon at the sea level is.
Sorry, what geometric horizon? We don't have one.
Or did you already forget?
Yeah, he already forgot. He already blanked it from his memory. We don't have a geometric horizon. Third time's the
Yes,
charm.
the geometric horizon.
We
No,
don't
you're right.
have a geometric horizon. Don't just ignore it 3 times and then tell me about what the geometric horizon does. We don't have one.
I'm not saying what it does.
Yeah, well, the curve maths does. I don't give a shit what you say. Curve maths says it would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. And we've debunked that. Now you think I give a flying Fukuyama what you think? No, mate. Globe maths says it will be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. It isn't. Now, we've only got one horizon, and the horizon, and you're begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, Earth curve calculator, that you say doesn't represent what we see, has a horizon that blocks things, and it's beyond the limitations of that geometric limitation. We've debunked it, proved it wrong. You want to tell me what the geometric horizon does again when we haven't got one?
You know what's interesting is he was.
Geometric horizon is.
Yeah, we haven't got one. We haven't got one, you stupid clown. We don't have a geometric horizon. How many times? It only exists in the maths. We only have one horizon. Your horizon is geometric. Your horizon only exists in the maths, and your horizon is not the horizon we see in actual reality. We don't have a geometric horizon. Don't launch into telling me what it does. We haven't got one. We've only got one. It's not geometric. It's on screen now. It's not your globe horizon. Simple.
It's a visible boundary between Earth and the sky.
Right, and the geometric horizon isn't a visible boundary between Earth and sky. We've debunked it. I say it again because there's a stony silence. The geometric horizon is not a visible, meaning you can see it, boundary, meaning it would block stuff, between the sky and sea. It's beyond the limitations of the geometry. So we only have one horizon, and the horizon in your globe maths is geometric. It's not a visible location blocking things.
You're right, it's not. It's
Yes, so bye-bye, globe maths. Our horizon's not geometric. It's not blocking boats and buildings with a feet and inches value. Welcome to Flat Earth.
no, because
No? What, because you've got curvature at the horizon?
yes,
No, you haven't. It's not geometric. We don't see that. That assertion that it's blocking things, marked with an X, labelled horizon, in your begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator, is a physical geometric horizon that blocks things. It would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. It is marked with an X, labelled horizon in your maths, and unequivocally not the horizon that we see.
where did you get the formula for the horizon?
From your curve maths.
What curve?
What? Curve maths? The ones that are on screen right now. From your claim that Earth is a sphere. Would you like to tell me that your claim that Earth is a sphere is a straw man because I'm ripping it to shreds? Tell me that my curve maths is a straw man. Go on. Go on.
There is no
Earth curve, mate. No Earth
the
curve.
curve.
No
Hold
Earth
on.
curve.
The curve calculator that I gave you was the curve that showed how far what's the observable of the object if you're looking at it. That's the one that I put it in the main chat.
And?
There is no formula for that. It's just calculating automatically.
So it's
within the
calculating it
formula,
then?
It takes that part to calculate. Just because it's not on the screen, on the computer screen, because it's doing it in the background, but the points you're talking about, the process with regards to observer height and the distance to the horizon, you'll see those there in the parameters. The calculation is that's how they achieve it. I know you're probably ignorant of that, but just trust us. It's their maths. They've set it up, and these are their statements of definition with regards to the supposed ball geometry. So they're clear. They're not our claims. They're ball Earth claims, and they are in that website.
So where did I get if the Earth was a sphere, radius 3959, then every measured distance to horizon could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet? It's your claim. Where did I get it from? It's yours.
Hold on. Let me see.
Let me see. Yeah, the horizon's not physical. Meanwhile, we only have one horizon, and the horizon in your begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. It's here on screen, marked as horizon. Now, this horizon isn't the horizon we see. This horizon only exists in this maths. We only have one horizon. And it's not your globe Earth curve edge horizon. That only exists in your maths.
I'm still trying to find the formula that you use to calculate.
Yeah, it's over for you, buddy.
That.
Sorry,
It's either
why?
your best thing-
So if you can't find it, argument from ignorance, you'll claim that I've made the maths up and it's my straw man? Yeah, because obviously I like making up maths that claims the Earth's a sphere. That's what I tend to do with my day as a flat earther. I like to go around making up curve maths.
No,
You just don't know where it's come from or how it works. Yeah, we know you're ignorant. Adam just explained that to you. We know you're dumb. You didn't know what gravity was either, and now you don't know what geometry of a sphere is. Yeah, you're ignorant, we know.
If the horizon's not geometric, and this lad has already accepted that it's not geometric, then any blockage after that means that it's not a physical blockage, it's an optical blockage. So any claim blockage after that is you're claiming optical blockage, not physical. You can't claim physical blockage if there's no geometric horizon. So you're claiming a blockage. That's an optical blockage only then. It can't be physical because the horizon's not geometric. So it has to be only optical. So that means you don't have a claim if you're claiming it's a globe.
Shout out to Unitox Femu, who says, "It's calculating automatically. I will die now." He's laughing. Over the super chat, Unitox Femu. Also, that flat fellow sends me a set of sunglasses. Cool. Thank you very much indeed, both of you, for the super chats.
You know, it's interesting. He brought up measurement for the equator, which then he said was imaginary. But we've got actual numbers for Earth radius of 3959. And if you apply measurement the way he loved to do before until he found out it was imaginary, it's no longer imaginary, because if Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959, then the blockage would be at 1.2 miles. The Earth's horizon would be right there. But since it's not, then he's got to give that up to imaginary now as well, if he's got the courage to admit it.
But of course, again, sorry.
Where did you get a calculation where the horizon should be 1.2? What did it say? 1.27 miles away from the viewer. Where did you get that?
That's Earth curve geometry. That's the geometry of a sphere Earth. I've told you that 5 times. Adam's told you as well.
The Earth is not a
Sharing now if he
perfect
wants to just.
sphere.
Well, yeah, it's not a sphere at all. It would have a geometric horizon if it was.
It's on screen, the derivation, but I'll go and post it into Discord in a minute. But it is here if you want it. Me and Tenth a while back checked it. It is there. It is. There's the derivation, the main point. And there's your sum, like 1.22459 times the square root of the observer height in feet will give you the thing. So this is a derivation based on ball geometry. If you've never come across it before, it's worth going through just as a proof. If you're a bit of a maths geek like me, I did check it, went through it. It is correct. It's based on certain assumptions, but it is mathematically correct.
So, if the Earth was a sphere, radius 3959, then every distance to horizon measurement could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That is the geometry of a sphere Earth, radius 3959. And the horizon is beyond the geometric limitations of an Earth's radius 3959. Therefore, the horizon is not a physical Earth curve edge obstruction. We've debunked it. Earth is not a sphere.
I never said that the horizon was a physical abstraction.
That's fascinating. Meanwhile, the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator that is asserted to prove that we have a physical geometric sphere edge blocking boats and buildings in the distance absolutely asserts that the horizon is a physical geometric sphere edge. The fact that you've become an anti-flat earther and now relinquished the claim of the curve maths is irrelevant. You are a nobody. Meanwhile, you've got curve maths that assert physical horizons at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. You and your claims are irrelevant. There is a Western worldview that you've got a geometric horizon, regardless of your stupid shit that you make up here on the spot.
He's getting ready to move towards the geometric horizon is a not visible boundary between the Earth and sky. I think that's the next.
Well, he already claimed the horizon is not geometric, so.
Yeah, that's the next move.
No, pretty soon he's going to say that the platforms, there's a refraction. You'll see.
Well, if he wants to know where Nathan got the 1.23 miles for the 1 foot observer height, is it James is the last name? Open up Metabunk curve calculator and in the boxes put in 10 miles for the distance and 1 foot for the observer height. And then look at where the geometric horizon is. It'll be at 1.23 miles. That's where Nathan got that from.
Hold on. What was that calculator again?
Metabunk curve calculator. METABUNK. Metabunk curve calculator.
On screen now for the audience's benefit.
And I've posted in the Discord the full derivation if you did want to understand how they do that calculation.
Given it's his claim, you'd expect him to understand this shit, rather than us having to detail his claim to him. It's pathetic.
I'd have probably got it myself from a small Google search before coming to a Flat Earthers and making myself look really ill-informed.
This is all shocking news to him.
Yeah, sorry, where did you get this maths that Earth's a sphere? Surely you, the Flat Earther, can't possibly cite my claim as a globe-believing dick that we've got a physical geometric sphere edge for horizon. And when that's pointed out, as the dick I am, I will interrupt this. Right, dick? Wherever did we get it? It's your claim. You'd think you'd know it. Shout out to Tony Whitcomb. Says Neil deGrasse Tyson said you can't see Earth curve from ground level. So is he saying Neil is wrong? His own master? High priest? He just doesn't know what his own claim is, Tony. But thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. So meanwhile, Earth's flat. No curve. No geometric horizon.
You know, this is a...
Go ahead,
You
Tony.
know what?
Yeah.
It's time for me to go to bed.
One question for you. One question
thank you.
for you. One question for you. If you tell me you have a house and I say, what's the address? I'm going to find your house. If you tell me we have Earth curve because the Earth is a sphere and the measurements say at 1 foot observer height, it would appear here. At 5 foot observer height, it would appear here. At the top of a mountain, it would appear here. I expect that to work. I know you guys have put an address on Earth curve, but we can't find it. So welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah, but it can't work because he already said the horizon is not geometric, yet the Earth curve calculator requires it to be geometric in order to have any validation. That's the point.
So yeah, meanwhile, no Earth curve. That's the end of the Earth curve assertion.
Where did you get that it's a square root of the observer's height? Shouldn't it be squared? Because it seems that the horizon might be too close to the observer.
Too close?
That's just...
yeah. At 1 foot, it would be at 1.2 miles. I mean, that's really close, right? You'd expect to see that, wouldn't you? We don't, because we're not on a sphere. And there you go.
Maybe he would like to change the radius from 3959 to 40,000.
Another
Hold
shout
on.
out to
I
that
think
fat fellow.
your math of 1.22 miles times square root of height of the observer.
Right, no, not your maths. It's not our maths. You dumb shit. It's your globe maths. Stop claiming it's ours. Next, he'll be telling us it's debunked and a straw man. This is your maths, not our maths. Get it clear.
1.22 miles time.
It's your maths, not ours. Do you understand that?
Time.
Your maths, not ours. You said, in your maths, meaning us, the flat earthers' maths. No, it's not. It's your globe maths that we debunk. So pulling apart the maths is merely you pulling apart your own claim that you don't understand. So don't ascribe your maths to us or talk through me when I tell you not to ascribe your globe maths to us with the term your maths. It isn't our maths. It's your globe maths. Clear? Obviously not. It's not our flat earth globe math. It's your globe math. Clear?
You don't need to repeat that. I heard you the first time.
Well, why leave a stony cold silence and a total ignorance of what I've said when you've just declared that in our maths? No, it isn't our maths. It's your maths that you don't understand.
Because I couldn't find the formula with the...
Yeah, because you're ignorant and don't understand your own claim, so that's an excuse to make it our maths? No, it's not. It's yours. Just because you can't find it and are stupid doesn't mean it's our maths. It's not. It's your maths that you don't know anything about and can't find, even though we've directed you to it and posted it in the Discord server. Just incapable of basic functioning. Yeah, you can't go to the server and see where it's been posted. Yeah, you're just sick. We know. So don't keep telling me how you can't find it, therefore you need us to tell you.
I found it. I appreciate it.
Oh, finally you figured out what your own bloody claim is. Oh, wow. We should be really grateful having detailed to it with you bracing against us every sodding step of the way and claiming it's our bloody maths. Yeah, oh, I'm so grateful that you finally found the claim you're making here. Wow, that's good news.
Hey, how can you measure the distance of something that's constantly changing? How can you find that out?
What do you mean finding the distance that's constantly changing?
How can you measure something that's constantly changing?
Where did you get that idea?
The horizon is constantly changing, so how can you measure where that geometric area should be?
The horizon changes based on the observer's height. It doesn't go anywhere. So the higher you are, the farther you'll see. Simple as that.
Yeah, and the lower you are, the less you'll see, to the point where you'll have a geometric physical sphere edge blocking your view of these oil platforms at 1.2 miles. But it isn't there. We've debunked that. You keep brushing past the fact that you keep saying that, well, the height's going to dictate it. What, a bit like 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height? That kind of dictation of height. The one that you've only just realised and found. Yeah, we've been saying that for quite a while, but you question whether or not it was our maths. Yeah. Globe maths asserts that your height will dictate where the geometric horizon is. But we've debunked that. You see the picture on screen? It's beyond the geometric limitations. So not based on your height. Yeah?
The higher you are, the farther you...
Sorry, you're going to now start chanting about what globe maths says because he's only just bloody read it. So because it is written, therefore the geometric limitation will be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height and feet. So he will tell us. Yet I keep pointing out that we know that. It's part of our debunking of your claim that you didn't understand. And the demonstration of how that isn't the case is on screen right now. Maybe just chant the claim that a physical geometric sphere edge horizon will be based on your observer height again, because you've only just learnt it, even though we're way ahead of you, know that already, and can debunk it with the image on screen.
This can't be happening, Nathan. We're flat earthers.
I'm gonna go. So I appreciate the talk. Maybe we can talk next time. Thanks for the debate. It was really cool.
Thank you for begging me
pummeling?
on multiple occasions to tell you what gravity is. Thank you for begging us to provide citation of curvature maths, the very thing you're here to prove. And thank you for begging the question, reversing the burden of proof, using an argument from incredulity fallacy. Yeah, it was wonderful having you.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, massive problem for you, the dick that doesn't even want to acknowledge every fallacy you've used. According to you, no problem. That's cognitive dissonance for you, ladies and gentlemen. I point out a list of fallacies to this dick, and he says no problem. Yeah, massive problem in logic. For you.
You have a good day. And, You have a good day.
Just won't be acknowledging the logical fallacies you've used here in your time here. Just going to bugger off without the slightest dose of humility being expressed to us. Yeah, we know. Yeah, bye-bye. It's all good. I've just used a shitload of fallacies and demonstrated how ignorant I am for about 2.5 hours.
All I'm saying is that
That you're dumb as shit and that you're going to say goodbye without conceding a single thing. Yeah, we know.
again, I'm gonna leave with one statement. Earth is still
Yeah, fuck off. You want to just get your ad hom chanting through us? Piss off, get lost.
Ah,
What were you saying, Chewy?
I was gonna say something, but you guys are hot on it, so
Feel free, the line's all yours.
I can't be arsed.
Can't be arsed.
Oh, he was ours a lot.
well, for somebody that believes the Earth is a globe, he seems to just not know anything about what that actually means and implies, because we had to guide him holding his hand every single step of the way. So it's very weird. Like, oh, he thinks it's a globe, but he doesn't seem to know anything about what that actually means and implies.
Where'd you get that math from?
What's the cause again? Yeah, that's what most people who come here think. I got a pretty good understanding of what gravity is. I think it's been proven. So I'm going to go in and tell them. Well, it's been proven already. They've got experiments. Chant it, chant it, chant it.
Did
Yeah,
you hear Adam call him ignorant?
You guys are a little late today, man. I like this timing. Why don't you move to this time?
It's just because of a dental appointment. My wife had a dentist appointment. I didn't want the kids running around too much because if they scream, I get accused of beating them.
I get it. Okay, fair enough. So I guess I missed it.
Be here or be
Show's still
steer.
going.
Say again, Arwin?
The show is still going, right? Still live.
Yeah, we're still alive. Got another 8 minutes.
Ah.
Do we have the after show after?
No, we have it before.
Yeah. No, the pre-show is after.
We're actually filming this next Wednesday.
I figured as much. Just checking.
It was also broadcast a week ago.
Right, we're recording this in the Tenet universe reversed world.
Well, based on gravitational lensing, this is actually being filmed next Wednesday.
Have some respect for the grand, high, exalted mystic ruler.
Who's that?
Huey,
Hey, check that shit.
This is just today's apparent show.
Whatever you say, leader.
I was just a little shocked about this guy that he actually would say, like, no, the horizon is not a geometric horizon, and then immediately the next sentence, in one breath, say that it does obstruct things. That was really something else.
he was Googling things on the spot.
That's
You're
okay.
shocked?
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, you're not shocked.
There was a
You've
guy-
heard stupider than that. I heard stupider than that last night.
Yeah,
a
but
guy- there was a guy in the Discord server in the pre-show as soon as I started the show up, and he might still be here, Pope guy, absolutely hammering the guy. Yeah, he is still here.
But that was Sink Cleanser.
Is that Sink Lenser?
Yep.
Yeah, he was pummeling him.
it's just that people like this, that believe it like this, like, do they even know what a sphere is? Or do they even miss that sort of rudimentary knowledge? I just don't understand how they could contradict themselves so quickly without training, like Rumpus and all.
We've got Tim Osman in the chat. Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve.
Tim, you got Timmy Clown. Is he out there?
Yeah.
He's in chat right now on YouTube.
Jesus, man. What the heck are you still doing there? You embarrassment. Logical fallacy is better than nothing, huh?
Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. Now look at my images. Labelled, this is Earth curve. Of multiple horizons.
Is he still carrying that portfolio around of those train wreck photos he's got?
What, the train wreck photos of the horizon? Labelled, this is Earth curve. Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. End quote, Tim Osman.
Come on in, Timmy. For old time's sake. We'll put you on mute.
We'd love to see your images. This is Earth curve. We'd love to see those. Meanwhile, we only have one horizon, and the horizon in your begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator is physical and geometric to me. Is nobody claiming it anymore? Oh yeah, of course we debunked it with this image on screen now, didn't we? Yeah, beyond the limitations of your sphere that blocks things with feet and inches that don't change with distance perspective in your Muppet vision. Yeah, this is Earth curve.
Honest girl.
He was one of the first to, I don't know if he was the first one that brought it up. Probably not, because he's too stupid. But he used to push that different counterclockwise and clockwise star rotation, right? He was one of the first ones. You know, they're still parroting that. I got into it the other night with a guy, 2 different directions again. It's like rinse and repeat. It's like a nightmare for them, right? You're so stupid. But thanks, Timmy, for passing that along. Could you say it a couple hundred more times so others will pick it up too? You and John, where's John LeBon? You got to have a JLB if you want to be with me. Where's that numpty dipshit? Go get him. Get him in here.
My son says the same thing about star rotation.
Hey guys, surprised to see a live stream still going.
It's only been going for
Hey.
58 minutes, so.
Yeah, started late.
Partista made it.
Yeah, indeed. Just in time for me to round out and say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, or joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member. Also, below this video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on either Premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
What a lovely day!